Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. The time has come for another monthly reading for all of you according to your birthday month. And this month I'm going to be working with the Healing Energy Oracle. This one is an oracle created by Mario Duguay. He's an author and artist from Uruguay, I believe. Very interesting cards. But firstly, I'd like to welcome back those of you who have been following this series of videos. I certainly hope that you've learned a lot about how colour can influence your life and also how it has the ability to create all sorts of guidance as to how you can react and respond to the various issues that you are faced with throughout each month. I'm coming to you today from a very cold and chilly Australia. And so if I have to stop every now and then just to warm up, please excuse that. If you're new to this channel, you're very, very welcome to stay and learn something that you perhaps have not been exposed to before. I certainly hope that it is something that you will find of interest and maybe even come back. And if you are really interested, just hit that subscribe button. It doesn't hurt to have more people than my 35 subscribers hanging around. All right, so let's begin. And now let's read for people born in October, looking at how the month of August will travel for them. Firstly, an oracle card. Whoops, a daisy. Let's not try and destroy them. That's far too many. We only need the one. This is what happens. Whoops, when you're all right, that one wanted to come out. Let's just pop it there. Right. They're very slippery when they're new. Okay. What I need is a colour reading for people born in the month of October to examine their month of August 2025. What will happen for people in October, or for people born in October, for August 2025? All right. The first card we have is cyan on white. And then we have yellow on cyan, followed by black on cyan. And the underlying energy is yellow on black. Okay. Well, the first thing we notice when we look at this reading is that cyan appears 3 times in this reading. That means it's a major issue for you. It appears once as the action, and that's from their past, and twice more as the underlying energy for the present and the future. As well as that, we have yellow appearing twice, both in the activity section of each combination, and then black appearing twice as well, once as the action and once as the underlying driver. That gives you very little in the way of movement for this month. It's as though your hands have been tied for whatever reason. So let's examine them. Looking at the underlying energy firstly, we have here black as the driver. When black appears in the bottom of any of these color combinations, it always has to do with wanting to get away, to separate yourself from outside world, to withdraw inwards, to become in some sort of state of communion with your own soul energy. It's seeking of answers internally. In the real world, the yellow, which is pretty well as far away from black as you can get, unless you're looking for white instead, the yellow is saying that you have been learning something new. There are new lessons that have been impinging upon you. You've been digesting information and lots of it. Now, it means also that you've also put on a bit of a happy face, whereas internally you haven't actually been feeling all that particularly happy. And that combination impinges upon the entire month for you. So how has it affected your past? Well, in the past, you have found yourself coming into the month of August. Everything in the real world has been truly wonderful for you. It's been quiet. There's been nothing disrupting you. You've almost been in a state of bliss, but you could also have been in a state of stagnation. Nothing has been changing. You have been stuck in a situation where you cannot remove yourself. And internally, however, you've come to the realization that something must change. You've been hit with a reality bomb. What is it that has enlightened you internally to the extent that having in the past, as you're coming into August, having in the past been placed in this situation of no movement in any direction, which can be quite calming, can be quite lovely, can also be extremely infuriating because there's no energy here. You have not been able to express yourself very well. Now, if we look at how the underlying energy has impinged upon this, well, for a start, the underlying energy here, this clash of reality, along with having to withdraw inside yourself, means that you've been faced with the black and white of reality, and that has not necessarily been a pleasant experience. Internally, you want to be able to come up with new plans, but in the real world, those plans are limited because while everything is possible for you, the stagnation of this cyan in the real world means that most of this has to be imagination. Cyan and yellow, when we put them together, means that what you are learning is causing you to create new plans, new ways of organizing your life, new ways of thinking about your situation. But the yellow and cyan together, if we blend those two colors, we end up with the form of green. And green is always about wanting to make changes by getting away from whatever it is that you are stuck with altogether. So while there is this need to face reality, need to look at the black and the white of your situation, in the real world, there is a desire to make changes, to get away, but do it in a way that enables you to learn something new, but at the same time, create this sort of harmony and quiet that you need in order to be able to take advantage of this new learning and not be stuck with another lot of enlightenment flashes or the potential for depression that occurs here. In the present, you have the cyan and yellow consolidated in the same combination. That is interesting because here the cyan is not being able to do anything in the real world, being stuck. Here it becomes an internal driver for wanting to make things blissful for yourself. You want to be in harmony. You want to find some way out of whatever this trap was here. You want to get away from it and find yourself in the real world thinking about new ways of doing things. You've learnt a lot. And in learning that, you have in fact created for yourself a situation where you're now thinking long and hard about how you're going to find a way out of whatever it was back here, and found yourself situated where you need peace and quiet, but you don't have it anymore. The underlying energy here is giving you a double dose of the yellow in the real world. You are thinking, my goodness, your brain is working overtime. Everything you are doing is geared towards scheming, planning, seizing on every opportunity mentally to try and come up with a new way of doing things. Internally, the cyan and black have darkened down that cyan. So this is where I'm thinking this is more of an entrapment thing than this would suggest. This suggests being extremely happy with yourself. This does not. This suggests that, in fact, you have been put in a situation where you are stuck. You cannot get out of whatever it is that you've gotten yourself into back here. But the cyan and black together have created the need, the drive for you to start working on more plans to get yourself out of that situation. And where does that take you in the future? Well, the cyan continues to become the driver. It continues to want you to find peace and harmony and just peace and quiet for yourself, really. And in the real world, where that is going is that the black, this solitude that you're seeking back here as the underlying energy throughout the month, now becomes the solitude that you have in the real world. Are you going to hide away? Are you going to find yourself putting yourself in a situation where you no longer have to face any of the reality that's happened back here? You no longer have to deal with finding new schemes and plans, but in fact, you have found the peace and quiet that you need simply by removing yourself from the situations that require you to deal with the reality that comes from here. When we add the black and black together as both the driver and the underlying energy, here we have the situation where basically it's a form of imprisonment. It's an imprisonment either of the physical or the emotional, or it can even be an imprisonment of the spiritual. You're finding yourself locked in. And that locked in feeling can be extremely harmonious, which is what this cyan here suggests, because it means that nothing can get to you, nothing can harm you, you are safe within your locked walls. But it can also mean that you are plunging yourself into an emotional locked-inness, which can be depression. I would be very careful about what choices you make back here. It seems fairly simple that if I plan this particular thing and I give out the feelings that, or give out the information that I need to get the peace and quiet that I need personally, in the external world, that information that you are learning, the things that you are putting into the real world in terms of knowledge and also what you say, will cause you to either feel at peace with yourself or will make you feel even worse. Just be very careful. If we look at the yellow and purple, yellow and cyan, then we have this situation repeated again. Cyan and black is that locked-in feeling, is that inability to escape, to feel calm. Yellow and black darkens the yellow down, which means that what you've learnt hasn't really brought you the happiness that you're looking for. Once again, October people, you've got another potentially uncomfortable reading. I'm not sure what's going on with you, but I certainly would make some very, very careful choices right now. Think very long and hard about what you're doing, about what you are learning. about what you are saying, about what information you are taking in and putting out. Because this future is not always a pleasant one. Let's have a look at the colours that are missing. You have black, you have white. Whoops. There's no red. You do have yellow. There's no green. You don't have blue. There's no brown. You don't have orange or grey, or purple or pink, but you do have cyan. Just look at all of these potential skills that you're currently not using. Here is what is going on in your life in the month of August. Here is what you are using. Here is what you are playing with in terms of skills and attributes. Here is what you could be using if you could attach yourself to them. Red is being in charge. It's having energy. It's passionate. It's creating whatever it is that you desire out of your own life force. Green is about your heart. It's about choosing the right direction to go in. It's about being able to find the sort of freedom that you're after. Blue is about organization. It's about getting yourself into circumstances whereby you know what to do, when to do, and how to do it. Brown is about both ambition, but also the ability to create something permanent. It is being able to be trustworthy and to, there's an honesty about brown. Orange is about courage and confidence and the ability to survive issues. Grey is, while it's hidden within these two, isn't a colour in its own right. So it's being able to deal with confusion, to be able to take your way, make your way through whatever it is that makes life difficult for you, because you simply trust that whatever comes out of life will be able to be managed. Purple has to do with healing and destruction at the same time. It has to do with making changes that are going to lead you in a direction that you want to go. And pink is all about love and vulnerability. Do you like yourself enough to be able to create the sorts of life that you want, but are currently either not finding or not using? You need to get two colours out of these, the most appealing and the least appealing, and enter those into your life. And when you do so, this yellow and black combination here, your underlying energy will change, and the choices that you make will lead you not here to a feeling unsatisfied or dissatisfied with what it is that you have created for yourself. So you're still searching for calm, but you have to withdraw from everything in order to find it. You'll find yourself heading somewhere else. Let's look at what the oracle had to say about the subject. The issue is one of freedom. You realize your wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt. So work to free yourself of darkness. Cast off negative thoughts, find peace in your heart, and discover the being of light within yourself. Freedom comes as a result of the yellow and cyan mixing together. They enable you to feel as though you can escape whatever it is that is tying you down. But be careful, because if you continue with doubt, resentment, and guilt, you won't be able to free yourself from this darkness. And when you fail to do that, you won't find the peace in your heart, your internal peace that you're looking for. I couldn't have put it better myself. Well, it seems like August is going to be a very interesting month, don't you think? I hope you've received something out of it, out of these readings that have been of benefit to you. And I hope you'll be back for the next one in September. In the meantime, please do consider using some of the colours that are missing and enter them into your life, because when you do, you find things do move in a different direction to the ones that are normally signed off as being inevitable in the readings. Remember, it's all about your choices. I certainly hope to see you again, and may your life be filled with lots of colour. And until next time, may the colours that you do bring into your life bring you the sorts of things that you desire and deserve. Bye.